Hey, welcome back everybody. It's Ben Strader at EFI University, and you're with us for another segment of How Not to Be an Idiot. And today we're going to talk about another one of the sensors in an engine management system that's pretty important, and that would be the MAP sensor. Now MAP, M-A-P, stands for Manifold Absolute Pressure. The most common type are these ones that were made by GM a long time ago, but the more modern style typically have higher pressure levels they can withstand. It's got a threaded base. You know, they're just a really nice little piece. These things come in all different shapes and sizes depending on what kind of car you have or what kind of engine you're using. But the biggest difference is what they can actually measure. Typically, you'll hear guys talk about MAP sensors in bar, or 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, stuff like that. A simple way to remember what bar is think barometric pressure, whereas a 1 bar sensor can only measure the amount of pressure in the atmosphere. So from an absolute vacuum up to sort of like sea level, you know, this pressure that we breathe in. But the problem with a 1 bar sensor is if I'm going to have an engine that's turbocharged or boosted, it's going to have pressure that's higher than the atmospheric pressure, so I need a higher capacity sensor. I might need a 2 bar or a 3 bar, but if you think about it, a 2 bar would mean that I'm going to have a boost that's equal to double my barometric pressure, and 3 bar would be triple and so forth. But these things got really big lately as all the cars started making tons of power. Now I can get a 5 bar, a 7 bar, a 10 bar. So the question becomes, well, how big of one do I need? Well, a 1 bar sensor only sees from vacuum up to atmospheric pressure, so it won't work for boost. But a 2 bar sensor can basically see double our atmosphere. So typical standard pressure at sea level is about 14.7 psi on a standard perfect day. So just roughly, let's say 14.5 or 15 psi a boost would max out a 2 bar sensor. It's absolute though, not gauge pressure. Absolute means that I can see all of the vacuum and all of the boost above barometric pressure. The reality is there's no need to have a giant sensor that has way more capacity than what your engine's going to see, but there's also not much downside to it either. A lot of the internet experts talk about how you shouldn't use a MAP sensor that's way over the size of your engine. For example, why use a 5 bar MAP sensor on an engine that's only going to see 20 pounds of boost? Well, the reality is there's so much digital resolution in your ECU that it can easily work out a fine level of precision on how much pressure your engine has. But if you have a MAP sensor that's just right on the edge, and let's say it's only capable of reading 30 psi and you've been running 25 or 26, later on down the road you might want to change to a different turbo system and make more boost. Now you would have to replace the sensor as well. But since the ECU is so precise, it could read, say, a 5 bar sensor even when being used on a car that's naturally aspirated. So it doesn't really matter. You almost can't overdo it. Now that you understand how the MAP sensor works, you can choose the right one and your car will run better and you won't sound like an idiot. Hey, if you like these videos on our How Not to Be an Idiot series and you want to learn more, all you got to do is head to the website at www.efi101.com and check out all of our online training videos.